podcast joint with Ciara.
What is the deal? This is T Money, and you are now watching the T Money podcast joint featuring Ciara Ross.
What up, though? What's up, T?
We all right? You all right?
All right, we kit-katting around here. You know how we do.
Look out, man. Look out. Anyway, so today we have, again, another special guest. This guy right here is a good friend of mine as well. I feel like I know everybody that I bring on the show. But real talk, this gentleman is amazing, and he has inspired me actually to start doing artwork. I never thought in my entire life that I've never been a person that liked to draw and stuff, but he's inspired me, because you see some of these celebrities, they get on here and they do sketches, and all of a sudden their sketches are like, Brad Pitt drew this, and it looks like shit, really. You know what I mean? But it's like, because he did it, but I said I could do better, and I could do better than stick figures, right? Mm-hmm. So I started like working and doing a little painting and stuff like that. I did this Wu-Tang thing. I got it hanging up in my crib. It's like crazy.
You didn't bring it in today to show us?
No, I didn't bring it, man. It's
Come
cool. You know what I mean? So I did it on my birthday, actually. I did it on my birthday at one of these places,
Nice.
So, but anyway, my brother, who is here, the writer, teacher,
hip-hop historian,
my man Andre LeRoy Davis is in the building.
Yes. You're welcome.
What up, Dre? What's up, man?
I gotta correct you. You gave me the fancy French LeRoy.
Oh, okay.
My father was LeRoy.
Okay. Listen to me. I just try to rock it like I see it, right?
The fancy.
So let me tell you. So listen, for the rest of the show, I'm gonna call you Leroy.
Yeah, okay.
Leroy in the building. What up, Leroy? You're not even Andre Davis no more. You're just
right. It. Not a bad thing.
So what's going on, brother?
Mr. Davis to me.
How you doing, man? How's everything?
I'm good. It's been a long week, so it's good to do something that's mentally relaxing.
Well, this might be mentally challenging working with me and this woman, right?
All right. Well,
but you never know.
But speaking of, his visual art.
Yeah, I work with ninth graders, so you can't be that bad.
Okay, well, I think we'll be all right. I don't know about Ciara, but I think we'll be just fine.
Give him a little while.
So talk to me, man.
Yes.
You've and for our viewing audience, just understand that this man speaks in artwork, right? And he speaks, just like you talk about writers and how people write and they speak, with their verbiage, and how rappers rap, and they speak in rhythm. This gentleman speaks the hip hop culture in art, right? So talk to us a little first off about your beginnings. Mm-hmm. Where you're from. Okay. Why was it art for you instead of you breakdancing or, making designer clothes or,
inspiration behind it.
So talk to us a little about it.
Well, born and raised in Brooklyn originally. First 10 years of my life lived in Crown Heights.
Oh, okay.
The last of 4 kids, so it was the quiet, shy one. Older brother who drew.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Watched him draw. He's 8 years older than I am.
Your inspiration, I take it.
I've tried my best to be nicer. Well, he was my inspiration because he would make fun of me doing drawings, caricatures of me as a kid, and there was no comeback. I'd sit there and cry. But I got a piece of paper. Turned out I could draw as well.
Oh, so it was in the genes then.
It was in the genes,
okay, right.
So he became my inspiration and the cause of perspiration by just like always on me.
Shout out to the older brothers out there.
But it helped to push me also because then he would give me some of his supplies to use. And then that just came to realizing I could draw. That was my voice. Not really being comfortable talking, learning to draw, like the age of 5. Going to school, teaching my friends how to draw as well.
Right.
I taught them how to draw Godzilla and Spider-Man. That was like 5 years
Your
old.
go-to.
Yeah. So I always tell people I'm teaching now, but I've been teaching motherfuckers how to draw since 5 years old.
Did you have any form? You said you did you go to school for any formal training?
I was just in school drawing naturally.
So you were natural with it?
Yeah. It wasn't until, you had art class in elementary school. But that was, everybody had art class.
Everybody had that.
But at that point, you was already outdrawing the teacher, so.
Not that soon. I'm not that cocky. That came junior high school. Then I could draw better than the teacher.
Wow.
But, winning contests in elementary school. I remember the first contest I won was for brushing your teeth, some kind of dentist thing. And I remember drawing Letterman character. I actually still have the certificate, so that's how I remember.
Aww,
yeah, I found
cute.
that recently. then just getting comfortable with the voice of
Right.
being able to draw. Going to junior high school, moved from Crown Heights to East Flatbush,
Right.
which they call Little Haiti now. Which is
Oh, really?
Newkirk Ave,
Wow,
the
interesting.
Vanderveers.
Interesting. Right.
So in my elementary school, it wasn't in the same class with him, but Chris Rock was in PS 269. So had friends who knew him, that type of thing. So that was my neighborhood coming up in elementary school. Moved to Park Slope. Dad was making a little money. That's when I got to junior high school.
Okay.
Learned I could draw, got more foundation, learned I was better than the art teacher. Because he was asking me to draw stuff for other kids, and I was like, something's not right here.
Right.
So then getting the award there for Best Artist when I graduated. Then I went to the High School of Art and Design, where it's more or less every other kid who won their award in junior high school is now at that high school.
But at this point,
Yes.
you kind of figure that you're pretty good at doing something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I knew that I had some skill.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I knew that I had admired certain artists' work,
Right.
like Billy Graham, who drew Black Panther comic books back in the day.
Oh, yeah, that's
Ernie
right.
Barnes, who did the artwork in Good Times. So I didn't know these people were black when I was a kid.
Right.
I just knew I liked their work. And it was something I wanted to pursue. Didn't know there was a business in it. Didn't know you could have a career. I just knew this is what I wanted to do. So that led me to high school, art and design. And everybody was in there once I got there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of high school, let's touch on bleach and soda.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. All right. So that
What
was.
does that mean to you, sir?
That's like when you were rewarded for doing something good in a bad way. So that was 5th grade.
Just know I don't know what she's talking about, so
shit,
you're going to have to explain it to me, too.
Once she brought it up. All right, so 5th grade, I was still at 269, Notion and Foster. My grades were good. So they switched me from 5th grade elementary to a 6th grade junior high school. It started early.
Right.
But I had to be bused to Mill Basin. So we're talking 78, 75, 76, that time of period. So my very first day of school, I got at the wrong bus stop. I didn't know the rules.
Oh, wow.
Carload of white kids from probably was Sheepshead Bay High School drove by through bleach and coke on me.
Oh, wow.
First day of school. So I went home with pink spots and sticky
All over your clothes.
all over my clothes. I had a fresh new blue hoodie.
Oh.
That was fucked up the first day of school.
Disrespect.
But I learned the rules. You go to the very first bus stop where all the other black folks is running to get out of there to head back home. So that was my first dose of full-blown racism. So that just stayed in the memory banks and became part of who my art is, what I am,
Right.
the rebel that I became. Because, even though I was there, I was ready to fight them in the building, but I knew I had to deal with them high school kids outside. So that's all a mixture.
And you dealt with the high school a little differently because then you created something that sparked something, controversy with a can of Raid.
Oh, well, I don't know if that was controversial. That would be high school.
Yes.
I had
What was the inspiration about that? Tell us that story.
Well, I mean, like I said, everything with me kind of just happened naturally. I was a fan of comic books. Was a fan of hip hop. Didn't know it was hip hop. It was just what we was doing then. There was nothing special. It was just what 15. We loved the thing. It was no, I'm going to do hip hop. No, it was just what we did. In high school, in high school we had black books that everybody would pass around. So you would do artwork in each person's black book. And that's where I gained my voice doing characters. I got comfortable doing it. And we had this kid named, I can't remember, never remember his first name. I remember his last name. His name was
I'm sure.
Gonzalez. He came to school, opened his book bag, and a roach came out. That's the shit you never live down. But he had done it.
Not in high school.
In
no.
high school, no.
No.
But he then, of course, asked me to draw in his black book. So I came up with, there was a character called Taskmaster in Marvel Comics. So I, of course, flipped it and created Roachmaster. So I drew him as Roachmaster, holding a can of Raid, spraying it. So that was one of the early days of just being able to make fun of people. And that's just more or less what became with the last word, with the source. So it was just natural.
So you went from middle school the bleach and soda incident to ending it in high school with now having on the redemption moment of
All of that.
the Raid.
And I wound up going to a high school that was absolutely no racism at all.
Because you
for
went
the
with
3
Shirt
years.
Kings.
No, it wasn't just that. It was the Rainbow Coalition before Jesse Jackson spoke of the Rainbow Coalition, and everybody was there just to be artists, and everybody got along. So I still have a rainbow coalition of friends from high school who are now, old and scraggly, but we were just people from them, and it was authentic friendships.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So I know we had the Shirt Kings on our show on our first season.
Okay.
Tyson was here and Nike.
Yes.
And you were blood related?
We are cousins, but it's by his uncle is my godfather.
Okay.
So I've known him forever.
Wow.
So as kids, we was cousins. It wasn't until we got older, it's like, oh, we're not blood cousins, but we are cousins.
But you cousins.
From...
Wow. How amazing is that you both of you guys are proficient in drawing?
Well, he was always drawing then, and I was always drawing as well.
Right.
There actually was no competition.
Right.
I mean, he would steal my comic books and shit. He still say he didn't, but he stole my comic books.
Salute
back
my
then.
man, Nike, man.
So he gonna deny it still.
Right.
He still denies it.
Right.
But yeah, he was always cool. I mean, when I got to art and design, I didn't realize he was there because we had lost
really?
touch.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So I found out he was there for my godmother. It's like, I won't tell you. I won't say it's government, but Nike is there.
I know.
Okay, all right. So Nike is there. I was like, really? So she told him I was there. He hunted me down. He more or less put the word out. Nobody can fuck with my cousin.
Word.
Like how he does.
Right.
And that was it. Him and Faye were gone that same year. I got there 10th grade. They left after senior year.
Oh,
that was
okay.
it, yeah. Because the junior high school I went to 9th grade. So I came to art and design 10th grade. But
so you never thought to work with Shirt Kings after you graduated high school?
Like I said, when he graduated, I was still trying to get out of there. I had 2 more years.
Oh, okay.
So they did their thing. They did their separate things. They didn't become Shirt Kings until maybe 86.
Yeah,
something
around then.
Yeah, because I got out of high school in 83.
Around the Run DMC, Biz Markie area, the Coliseum, the Queens.
Master J,
right, Jam Master J. Yeah.
So I went there and met them maybe like 87, 88. One of the times I went there, actually, Biz Markie came with a tape of Just a Friend and played it there for the first time for everybody here.
Oh, wow.
And I happened to be there that day. But and I actually did a piece of the Mighty Shirt Kings that is actually in Fade's books. I did that back then.
Oh, dope.
But no, never thought of becoming a part because I didn't use airbrush.
Right.
And plus I like doing my own thing, my own path.
Yeah.
I can be a team player, but when it comes to my art, I prefer not to be a team player.
Yeah, you're a true artist. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah,
You're a
yeah.
true artist.
Yeah.
And you. I mean, I know you. At some point, you started doing the last word in the Source magazine.
Yeah.
That's when I first noticed you.
Yeah.
You know? Well, I think that's when most of the hip hop culture noticed you.
Yeah, because I was already doing freelance work
right.
for other magazines.
Right. And being in the Source, you were there, on schedule. Like every time you got a magazine, you were able to like look and see, what you've done, creatively.
Yeah.
So
Can we touch on how that transpired? Was it a trip on the D train or getting ready to walk onto the D train?
I can't give you an exact date, but I was already like hustling with my portfolio to get magazine jobs. By then I had done stuff for Discover Magazine, Emerge Magazine, that type of thing. So what you do is you would go to newsstands and just look through the magazine to see where the magazine was located. Yeah, whatever the actual, what was the page called? I don't remember.
Content.
Yeah.
Index content.
Find out who the art director was because you have to give him a call, bring your portfolio by, let them see your work.
Yeah, I was back in the day.
Yes.
Yeah, no question.
So I was getting ready to go home after picking up my portfolio. I forget from what magazine, and I happened to be at Broadway Lafayette trying to get the B train back to Brooklyn. And I just went to the newsstand, saw a source. I'm like, what is this? Looked for the info, called the number from the corner phone booth. And it turned out they were up the block, right by the corner, right before. And John Schechter picked up.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And I'm like, do you have a portfolio policy? He had no idea what I was talking about. They kind of definitely knew. So they had no idea what a portfolio policy was or artwork or what, how they go about looking. So I said, I just wanted to show you some work, see if y'all interested. He told me come by right there. All this happened within that motion. Went there. They went in a room about this size. Because that was the beginnings of them. He told me he always wanted to add an element of art because he was a fan of Mad Magazine and the folding last page. Right. So I'm like, cool. He said, we're about to close the issue. If you can do a drawing, come up with an idea for Eazy-E. It's about Eazy and the FBI. I was like, I got an idea. And I didn't even do a sketch. Went home, bought it back in 2 days, got my $50. And that was the
It's a
budget.
lot of money
That
now.
was the budget. And they were still in black and white, so there was no color to it. I kind of thought that was just gonna be it. Got another call the next month, another call the next month, and
17 years
that was
later.
17 years every issue.
Yeah, man. You have
That
great
is
pieces,
remarkable.
bro.
Yeah,
17
great
years.
pieces.
You gotta clap it up for that. That's remarkable.
Salute to the Source magazine, man, too. You know,
Yes.
because yeah. Peace out to Ed Young.
Yes.
You know, my
Good
God,
man.
man.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
salute to you, brother. You know, so wow, that's amazing times. Or you were gonna say something?
No. I was saying we're viewing some of his portraits behind us, and we have a few.
Oh.
And I just wanted
That
to.
actually was done for a Def Jam Christmas party.
Yeah, I remember that party.
Yeah, so that was on the outside of the invite.
Oh, nice.
Actually, I'm wrong. I used the
Didn't you-
lower part, but it had a Santa hat.
Oh, yeah,
The
right.
one that was for Def Jam.
Right.
So yeah, but the Flavor Face, that's where that came from.
So and just so the viewing audience knows that your artwork has been in so many places. You know, it's been it was in the Tupac Resurrection.
Video.
Yeah,
You know,
I
you know.
didn't know it was gonna be in there until I was actually sitting watching the movie, and I'm like,
no.
my shit came up.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
wait a
Nobody
second.
told you nothing.
Nobody told me. They took they got the. That's the only beef I think I had with Dave Mays back then. Because I didn't get paid, I didn't get asked to use it in my artwork, but I saw my name credit wise
Right,
at
right.
the end.
That's cool.
but,
So that has to make you
I-
feel good, too. But it's principality, big worm.
it was appeasing me,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, so you've been in comic books and
Yeah.
you know, trading cards and
yeah.
you know, you've also done some stuff about Boy Say City. He's the legend. Say
Oh.
say City Adams, buddy.
Yes.
Say, man.
I think one of the first times Say called me, probably early 90s. I forget wherever their office was because it was not too far
That's
walking
the,
distance from the source.
In the 90s,
The early 90s.
I think that was
91,
Elizabeth
90
Street.
Probably.
Yeah, Elizabeth
because
Street.
it was
yeah.
walking distance.
Yeah.
He had called me in because I did a lot of work for Def Jam that never saw the light.
Oh wow.
I've done sketches for them. I did a Warren G campaign. I did a Redman album cover that never
Wow.
came out. So I did a lot of stuff that didn't come out, and then I did stuff that did come out. So it was a good mixture
Right,
through the
right.
years.
By far, what has been your most favorite project?
I don't think I've had one. What I tried to do was answer the dreams that I had as a kid. So I've done album covers. I was in Mad Magazine. I did one thing for there. I've done comic book covers. It was just answering the kid things that I wanted to do as a kid. Only things I did not do would be Sports Illustrated. Never got a call for that. Now they're closed.
Yeah.
And Village Voice. Those would be the
And The
only
Voice,
two that I
right.
wanted to do that I
Right.
didn't get to do. But I've done damn near everything else that I wanted to do.
And do you have a favorite portrait that you've created?
No. That's like picking a favorite kid. Everything
Some people do it.
Well, I know, but yeah. There's things that I like that I think I really in my brain because when I create, the image comes into my brain first, and I see everything, and I try to bring it to life. So the closest I get to the imagery in my head is what I'm happiest with. That means I nailed the joke, the written joke, and I nailed the visual. So when I do both of those, I captured the full likeness. I got the joke. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I strive for.
That's your. So what's your inspiration? Like what? I mean, like I had asked you, and I'm saying this on camera so everybody can hear me. He's going to do a piece for myself, Ed Lover, and Dr. Dre. He's already said he was interested in doing it.
Because I've drawn Ed Lover and Dr. Dre once.
Yeah, but
it wasn't
I'm not
great.
part of it. I'm not
I know,
part of it.
yeah.
And you could do it better.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now
can do something better now.
My skills are better.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm thinking that we can. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, but my point is, what inspires you to actually pick your subjects and like?
Well, with the source, it was whoever was on the cover.
Right.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's
right.
you know, in the beginning it was to sum up the magazine. So we did that for maybe like a year. Sum up what the magazine was talking about. Then it evolved to whoever is on the cover or the secondary story. That's how I drew. Then it evolved to just who was ever on the cover.
Right.
It's this who's on the cover, George. So other than that, when I do something, it's got to hit home. It's got to be something that I know is gonna feel good to my soul to create.
Right.
Or if the man upstairs makes the imagery pop into my head, I got to get it out, or it's just there. So anything that's got positivity to it, or if I feel like I got to make a statement.
Right.
Like when Trump got in office,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't draw
we've
anything
seen
hip hop related. I drew mostly political
Wow.
cartoons.
Oh, yeah, I
and
saw you
stuff.
at your show. You just did a show at New York City Winery,
yeah.
and I saw that piece on the wall. It was great.
So one of the things I did when Trump lately the last couple of weeks has been making statements about black folks and whatever. So when he was running for office originally, he said something about the Trump revolution and black supporting him and whatever. So I came up with a drawing where I had him with his fist up and he was talking about the Trump revolution. So I had the imagery right, and then right at the end, the idea popped into my mind because you had orange is the new black. And it just fit.
Wow.
So I put that as the tagline.
Wow.
And it just fit, So it's just things like that. They all fall into place.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
please ask me. Please ask me. Please.
Because I wanted to just ask you that. Has any of your imagery upset anyone? Has anyone ever called you and say, listen, take it down, or I'm going to sue you, X, Y, and Z?
I haven't gotten the sue name, but the early days of The Source, 1990, 91, first of all, you had like Spin Magazine, and you had Village Voice, who would critique and make fun of hip hop in the way I saw things. But it was like white men making fun. So they were mad, but once The Source did it, was supposedly the Bible, and it was supposedly all hip hop. Here I am, wasn't really clowning people. If they said something stupid or did something, I would just draw it and put it in the back. So I think one of the earliest threats came from X-Clan and DJ Quick. So X-Clan, I drew Lumumba and Brother J, and I drew beads up to like Lumumba's nose.
That's crazy.
So I come into The Source, and they're like, Lumumba called for you. Professor X wants to speak to you. And I was 25. I didn't really care. I'm like, give him my number. Plus, I lived in Flatbush, so I saw X-Clan all the time.
Right.
So my mode was face things head on as opposed to getting jumped.
Right.
So initiated the conversation. He called me. He's like, what were you trying to say? You trying to say I talk too much? He went left with it.
Wow.
And I was like, nah, I was just saying you wear a lot of beads. Right. So he got quiet on the other end. Then he started laughing, and we were cool from that point until he passed away.
I think you told me about the DJ Quick.
Yeah, the DJ. Yeah,
that was more serious.
Well,
right?
in my brain, you squashed that without knowing y'all squashed that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because when I did the drawing, it was DJ Quick at a beauty salon with getting his perm done. He was sitting next to James Brown, and I came in and I got a call that he said don't ever come to L.A. And then maybe like a week later, he's on Yo MTV Raps.
Yep, on my
Oh,
show.
wow.
Yeah,
It's T Money and Dr. Dre. And Dr. Dre is holding the magazine, waving it at the screen.
Yo, that was crazy. And I didn't even know you got the threat.
Yeah.
So we sit there like,
True exclusive.
Yeah, so we had no idea you got the threat.
So one of his boys who's with him says, yo, that just means you made it. That means
Right.
It started changing to a badge of honor
Right.
that I drew people, probably because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
so I want to talk about a particular piece.
Okay.
Which I am personally a part of a particular piece.
Yes.
I'm actually part of a piece, and I'm not even in the piece, but the piece has a lot to do with me because it was part of my birthday celebration. There was if you were a hip hop historian and you know anything about hip hop, you know KRS-One at one point threw Prince B and PM Dawn off a stage in a club. That event happened at my birthday party in 1992 at the Fun House in New York City, right? So, and there's a lot of controversy behind that. You know, Prince B at the time was being subversive towards KRS-One, and some magazine saying that he was a teacher of what? You know, like basically saying who the heck is KRS-One, which is.
And he even said KRS-One and Chuck D making mountains out of molehills.
Right.
I remember that.
Yeah, he did mention Chuck too, which
Yeah.
was ridiculous. And at that time, I mean, we're talking 92. You don't talk crap to KRS-One at that time. I mean, that was full BDP posse strength. We talking.
Yeah.
You know, we talking Mick Bull. We talking ICU. We talking Just Dice. We talking.
Yeah.
We talking the Kenny Parker. We talking the Goons. You know what I mean? So, let me talk about the party real quick. Okay. So the party was at first it wasn't a lot of people there. This is New York City. This is still around 10:30, whatever. MTV was in the building.
Okay.
They were going to film, And I remember talking to Penny Mack at the time. Penny Mack was one of the producers of the show at the time, and she was asking, "What's going on, T? Are people coming?" I said, "Yo, people are gonna be here," and they seem antsy to leave. And due to the fact that I had so much on my plate, I was like, "Man, just go." Okay. I didn't want to be bothered with having to constantly justify you being there. If you want to be there, be there. If not,
go.
Just go, right? So I let them go. In 34 minutes, well, 35 minutes after, right? The place was ram-packed. It was close. It was tight. It was tight with people. Like, you couldn't walk around. It was so many people, right? So I managed my way onto the stage. People were performing, right? And I noticed to my left, in the corner of the stage, it was KRS-One was sitting there with a red hoodie on. He had his hoodie covered. He covered his head. And he was in the corner. I said, "You good?" He said, "Yeah, I'm good. T, everything good?" I said, "All right, no problem." So now, unbeknownst to me, I didn't know this beef went on in the magazine. I knew nothing about the beef.
Okay.
Right? But I had PM Dawn performing on my joint, right, for my birthday, right on the stage, whatever. So, soon as PM Dawn get on, he dropped Set Adrift. Now keep in mind he had girls dancing, right? Like, they had their little dances, and then they had the other guy that was down with Prince B. I forgot.
His brother,
His brother,
DJ?
yeah,
Okay,
he was there. He was on the stage too.
Okay.
And Prince B was doing his thing, and because I had them perform because they were at that time. That was the biggest song in the country. It's not like because I'm hip hop through and through to the grain my whole life, right? So you probably were like, "T Money, why you have PM Dawn performing? You set them up or something?" No, that was a rumor,
Yeah.
Did I set them up, and why would T Money have them perform? But I'm on MTV, the biggest song in the country. They wanted to perform, and they were doing it on the arm. I didn't pay them.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And you said we have that artwork.
Yeah, the artwork. The artwork. Punch the artwork up if we have it. There it is, right there. So now the reason why this artwork is so important, because as far as I know, and unless by the sound of my voice and my visual, somebody has something else. Andre's artwork is the only visual entity of what transpired that night.
Yeah.
Right. So, which makes it extremely valuable and very important. Right. So, KRS threw Prince B off the stage just like it's depicted here. Mm. All those people actually moved, like the Red Sea parted. He hit the ground, and then he pointed to the DJ booth and said, "Kenny Parker, drop that joint." And he dropped "I'm Still Number One." And the beginning of the song goes, Now listen, at that point right there, that last drop, you looked around, and when the music started, the place went bananas. I don't think you understand me. I'm gonna say this again. The place, people, it was. Remember I told you it was packed like sardines. Yeah. Imagine everybody in that place, the whole building jumping at the same time. The building was shaking.
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
The building was shaking, and poor Prince B, God bless his dad, was on the ground. But hip hop had to continue.
I see somebody getting choked out in the back.
So that's
the DJ. Yeah.
So that visual is the only visual in existence from that. And I stood on stage with my mouth open and realized that this is hip hop, baby. This is how it works. And from what I'm gathering, peace to Prince B. Rest in peace to him. Yes. And KRS, because I think they came together before Prince B passed away, and they squashed that or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it was just part of it's part of a legacy that I'm connected with this man because of the visual, and he has a lot of those things with great stories behind them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See with that, in all these years, no one has shown a picture. It's amazing how many photographers was at these events back then.
Right.
No one has a picture of it occurring. So what happened was I went into the source the next day. Mm-hmm. They told me what happened.
Oh, yeah. You went to work.
So they had me interview about 12, 13 different people who were actually there so I could get a visual in my brain of what I should draw.
Yeah.
So I got different versions. Some say he really lifted them up. Some say he pushed them off.
He grabbed the mic from him like I'm grabbing this.
Yeah.
And he pushed him.
Okay.
Remember, if you're getting it from me, because I was
No,
standing
I got you. But I'm saying I got different.
Right.
So I came up with an in between just to heighten it up a little bit and have him up.
Yeah.
So
That's
but
fine.
you know, so that like you said, as far as I know, that's the only visual. That's something where I don't even have to post it online. People post it like every anniversary.
Yeah, that
and there was a thread where somebody posted it last year, and I think his brother responded. He was not happy. Well, it's like I got nothing to do with it. Somebody else posted it.
And to that point, yeah, his ex-wife, you know, and salute to her. Like they're not happy about the whole thing because of how it transpired, and it puts. To them, it puts Prince B in a negative light.
Yeah.
You know, but
I get it.
But and I totally understand. You know, but there's a point in hip hop that I'm gonna say that I'm not sitting here celebrating what transpired, but I am here to say that it's definitely hip hop, and it happens. And then there's been so many more egregious things in this culture that has transpired based on what people have said. You know, if I had a story from every Friday night at Latin Quarters, you know, I mean, at the times Brooklyn took over, and you know, when they fought a Hollis crew, and I can go on for days with things. And so
then the KRS Melly Mel.
I was there for that night too.
Yeah,
KRS-One dissed the heck out of Mel. Salute to Melly Mel. You know, and right now today, Melly Mel and KRS-One are very close.
Okay,
you know what I mean. So my point is, things transpire, and I'm not here in a celebratory moment, you know, to say that, you know, just, you know, forget Prince B and what he contributed to the culture. No, it's not about that, and I don't want anybody to take it that way. I'm just saying there's a moment in hip hop that spoke to how hip hop, how the power of it. Yeah, you know, the power of the spoken word, what transpires as it relates to saying the wrong thing. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily about Prince B himself. Yeah.
It's hip hop history.
It's just hip hop history that needed to be documented, because that night, that incident it personified everything that we ever knew about the strength of hip hop and how it could be. You know,
Agreed.
so that's what we're discussing here.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
You know, so yeah, man. So you're gonna do our thing. So I can't wait for that to happen. So thanks a lot.
Cool, definitely.
But yeah, you just did the thing at the winery.
Yes.
And you're doing art shows all over the place, right?
I usually don't. What I used to only do is I would lend my work to other people's shows.
Oh, you would lend your work. Okay, so it wouldn't be you doing it.
Yeah, I don't like that whole thing. I mean,
it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, but during the Source days, you never saw me at any parties. You never saw me. That's not my thing.
No,
you let your work speak for yourself.
Well, back then you could.
Yeah.
Now I have to show my face with the work, and then also I didn't want to become friends with any of the artists in case I had to clown you. I didn't want to have to think I had to hold back, so that was in my nature. Right. So when I meet a lot of the artists now, the reaction is even amazing to me, because I remember being at a Comic-Con, because I do a lot of black comic conventions. Okay. I'll do that.
Right.
Are you still Captain America? Is that still your favorite?
Captain America is still my favorite.
Really?
Yeah. Captain America was my gateway drug to.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's simple, easy reason.
Wow.
All right. So.
Because I'm a Marvel guy too, but
growing up, my brother had like Hawkman and all those DC characters.
Right.
So that was my intro to comic books. But then I don't know who or why, somebody I came across a Captain America. Liked the colors. But then when I read the comic, the issue I read in the early 70s,
right,
he was living in Brooklyn. So, hey, Brooklyn kid.
Touche.
He was an artist.
Touche.
He carried the shield in his portfolio when he walked through the streets of Brooklyn. That shit was fly.
Right.
So he became my favorite, but then he led me to the Falcon.
Falcon's cool too, though.
So that's the first real black superhero that I became aware of. Falcon led me to Black Panther. Black Panther led me to the artist I mentioned earlier, Billy Graham. Billy Graham drew his work. Right. And then that led me to Luke Cage. So that's why I'm saying Captain America was my gateway to all of those black superheroes. So yeah, but Captain America still
my guy was favorite. Always the Hulk.
Okay.
Right? The Hulk was my favorite guy because of what he represented as it relates to, like, if you keep poking the bear enough, you know, that's how I was as a kid, you know, because I didn't, you know, I was always a big kid, but I never started fights. Okay. But I ended them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Keep, you know, it's one of those mess around and find out moments with me. Always. So I gravitated to the Hulk a lot, you know. So I had Hulk all in my room. It was crazy.
So I had Captain America all over,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the black character. So it was Captain America, and then those three, as I call them, three the hard way.
Wow.
Black Panther, Luke Cage, and the Falcon.
Wow. So are you planning on doing any more? Listen, I know you don't like them, but I thought the art show was a genius idea.
Anytime I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna make sure it's on point, and you know, because my name's attached to it. Last year, I had a one-man show, actually in Tennessee, the National Museum of African American Music. So I had the whole gallery in there the whole summer. I have artwork hanging currently at Landmark.
Okay.
Which is going to be extended. So I hang pieces around. If anything comes around that's right, then I'll definitely do it. And I'm not going to do nothing just to do it. I like doing these black Thank you. I like doing these black conventions because a lot of people don't expect me to be there.
Right.
So I did Florida Comic-Con maybe like a year and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
And I was just there, had my booth, Artist Alley. And a couple people would come by. It's like, oh shit, I didn't expect to find hip hop here. And those same people would come back next day with like 25 different source issues, asking me to sign.
Oh, how cool!
You
is
know,
that?
so once they knew I was there, you know, and I do the Schomburg every year. I'm gonna do it this year. Already got my table. Black Comic Book Convention at the Schomburg. This is like the 11th year. I think I've only missed 2, but I will be there when they do it in April.
And are your greeting cards still available?
I did some hip hop Christmas cards. Yeah, those are still available. Get them early.
Because we selling it.
Start now. Yeah.
You know what I would like? I would like to have. I would like to have an actual, an original from you.
Oh, see now.
A
lot of people would. No one that owns the originals but me.
I don't blame you.
Can I get a lithogram of you?
You can get one of them prints from the show.
Yeah.
You and I can figure that one out.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm.
But I
me
had
out,
meant to come today with a print of the BDP one, so I still got you on that.
Yeah, please.
I still got it because the show came down Thursday night. So
okay.
I've been running around, so I wasn't able to do what I had planned to do to get.
I would
but
love
that I promise you that will be.
I would love that.
The print will be yours.
Definitely would love that, man. You know, so yeah, that's cool, man. So let us know, you know, when your next show is going to be, if you're going to do another one.
Yeah.
Because we and C would love to attend.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And yo, listen, man. You've touched a lot of souls with your art. You know.
Yeah.
You know, why do you think it's so? Your work is so popular. There's like all the people that you mentioned before. Billy Graham, Say City, Adams, the whole bunch of people that have done. I mean, your work is definitely a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because it speaks about scenarios and it has action and it talks. There's storylines. It's different. You know what I mean? But why do you think your pieces have become so popular?
Well, it was definitely the foundation I set back then at the source.
Right.
Because a lot of artists I meet now, a lot of things have happened because of that art.
Right.
Like the show in Tennessee, the art director was a fan of my work during the source days.
Right.
And reached out, wanted me to be hanging his place. Then it's the respect that I pay other people. From a Ernie Panicoli to a Bill Adler.
Shout out to Ernie.
Shout out to Early. Happy belated birthday too.
If you know those two people, those are two quality people. But if you're on their bad side, you will never get any kind of hope or response from them at all because they are real. And I'm just me all the time. So and that's a respect factor. And me being me, full authentic, how I feel, emotions, experiences that goes into my art. So when I'm drawing somebody, their music is blasting. I try to take over their spirit, their flavor, take over my soul as I'm creating them.
How cool
and
is
bring
that?
their life through their eyes, their movement. So my art comes from a real place, and I think when it's put down, people can connect to it. So that's how I've always done things. That's how I still do.
Your artistry is so attractive. It's so attractive, and I love when artists get into their art.
Yeah.
It's, you know, because it has nothing to do with, you know, it has nothing to do with money or prestige.
I love making money, but it's got nothing to do with
everybody
it.
needs money. This is not what I'm referring to. I'm just saying that when you get into your art, money is not what influences you.
No.
So it's not about the money. It's not about the prestige of you doing. It's about the fact that you love this so much. And you know, and your creative juices are flowing. It's a totally different side to bring.
Yeah. Well, so, as a teacher, when I meet a kid who I know can draw and they aren't utilizing that gift, that irritates the hell out of me. So as an artist who I know I've been blessed with a gift, I'm not going to waste it. You know, like I said, like Rain Man, look at a box of toothpicks. He can tell you how many is in there.
Yeah.
The fact that the image pops into the side of my head, the joke, all at the same time.
Wow.
It comes from somewhere. Wow. So I always try to bring that to life, and I know that's a gift.
That's a blessing.
So I definitely don't waste it.
That's a true blessing.
How did Jay-Z get 2 ponytails?
Well, somebody asked me a question. They asked me what I thought Jay-Z's daughter was going to look like at the time.
Oh.
So that's where that came from.
Right.
That was I think that was a piece I did for All Hip Hop at the time. So we're talking, 2012, whenever Blue was born.
Right.
And, of course, then I had to make my twist to it. So he had the album, The Blueprint. So I did the baby blueprint. So that's how I was able to do, like, the little baby and all that type of thing. So you see the baby holding a cigar to tie into what the album was. So everything to me that I do has to make sense. No one is allowed to check me, so my facts will be right on every drawing that I do, and it'll make sense.
Yeah, we definitely gonna talk. I'm telling you, we're gonna talk, bro. I have. With that being said, then I can give you the blueprint on what I'm thinking.
Directions.
Yeah. Well, this is
dope.
great. This is great. Listen, man. It's great having you today.
Appreciate
Where
it.
can your new fans follow you or find you? Because you know you got some new fans after this.
I'll take it. Well, on Instagram, AL Dre Day, which is ALDREDAY. On Facebook, fan page is The Full Government, Andre LeRoy Davis.
Right, Leroy.
Yes. So yeah, you can definitely find me in those places. I try not to be any place else, but if it is, it's AL Dre Day. I'm on Twitter or X, whatever it is, but I don't really use that much. But I'm out there.
It's
And are
X.
you still open to accepting new artists that would like to draw?
Well, my schedule is hectic because I'm still teaching high school art in Brooklyn every day.
Okay.
But I also am now teaching at Montclair State in Jersey.
Oh, okay.
So Professor Davis.
That's a
out there.
home state.
Oh,
Jersey.
Love
okay.
it.
All right, yeah. But there's a lot of stuff I want to draw, so it's got to be really something that I either have the time for or the person who wants me to do it has the patience. Because it's something that might normally take me a week because I'm home. Might take me 2-3 months to do it a little bit. So, but I'm looking also to change that high school situation, but the health coverage is good, so I might be there.
I know that's real.
Did I change
Listen,
it?
life's about choices.
I want you guys to know out there. Listen, we usually shoot 3 shows, maybe 4 shows, 2 shows, whatever. We shoot multiple shows every time we shoot. And when we have guests, right? I always notice that some of the storylines that we speak on, they tie in off camera. So the healthcare thing we talked about with 3 people already. So so we understand, man. But thank you so much, brother, for coming. All right, coming through, man. I appreciate you, brother.
You. I gotta put in my request for a portrait.
Yes,
That's right.
Because you're not a part of hip hop, real hip hop, unless you've been drawn by this man right here.
You can definitely go to my website, AndreLeroyDavis.com, to see some stuff there.
Well,
and
check
reach
out my boy Leroy.
And don't forget those season greeting cards that are coming up.
Yes.
Please and thank you.
Yes.
Yo, this is the T Money Podcast joint featuring Ciara Ross and my man Leroy in the building. Salute to you, man. Peace, Leroy. 2 fingers. We out, man.
Don't forget, like, share, follow, tell a friend,
That's right.
call a friend. Bye.
T Money Podcast joint.